Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Breathe Within Yoga. My name is Julianne Duffy, and thank you for joining me again today. Hello, Mojo. Mojo had to come and say hi today. So we're going to get started. Let's make ourselves comfortable, sitting tall. We're going to close our eyes and come right into our breath today. So with a deep breath in, sitting up tall, lengthening through the torso. Close the eyes as we let those shoulders come up towards the ears as we inhale. And then as we exhale, let the shoulders roll down the spine, releasing the breath. We'll do that 2 more times. Another deep, full breath to center us today. Let the torso expand. And then as we exhale, shoulders away from the ears, keeping the elongation through the spine, strong core, belly button to spine. Last time, deep, full breath. Let those shoulders rotate up towards the ears. And once again, let them roll down the spine. We're going to be sitting tall. Chest is open. Chin is level. Eyes can be closed or gazing slightly forward. Core is strong. Belly button to spine, pulling up on the pelvis. Just feeling that beautiful strength, becoming aware of the breath. And as we exhale, if our eyes are closed, we'll gently open them. And let's make our way to all fours, coming to our hands and knees. We're going to come through some cat and cow today. So coming to all fours, we've done this many times. We're going to make sure that the knees are under the hips, the hands or the wrists are under the shoulders, toes can be tucked or flat, whatever feels better. Lengthening through the spine when you're ready. Deep breath in, drop the belly, tailbone to sky. Opening through the chest, imagine the top of the head can touch your tailbone. Exhaling, let the breath go, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Close the eyes, feel yourself go inwardly as we go through the inhale, coming through our cow. Exhale, our scared cat. Let all that breath go. Imagine someone squeezing the air out. We'll do that 3 more times. Deep, full breath. Feel the breath come into the chest, into the belly, into the entire torso. And then as we exhale, we're having all that breath squeezed out, letting go. 1 more deep, full breath here. Opening through the entire torso. Let that belly drop. Feel a beautiful stretch. And then as we exhale, let that all go once again. We're going to slowly come back through to tabletop position, and let's come right into thread the needle with our arms, stretching out our shoulders. So we're going to keep our right hand on the mat. We're going to let that left hand start to float up towards the ceiling. The gaze can follow. The left hand is going to come on under the right, and we're going to come onto that shoulder and the ear on the left side. So this is what it looks like from this point. So the right hand is grounded, the left arm is coming under the right, and the right arm can be grounded into the floor, spreading the fingers. The left arm is on the floor, and we feel that stretch into the shoulder and into the upper back, grounding the hand. So we'll take a few moments here, breathing into that shoulder, noticing where we're feeling space. Maybe we feel some space into the shoulder, into the neck, into the back. We'll be here for just another deep breath. Let the torso expand. Feel the breath come into the midsection of the body. As we exhale, we're going to prepare to remove. So we're going to ground our right hand. Use that right hand to help assist bringing us up through all fours. Let the left arm float up towards the ceiling. The gaze can follow. And we'll come back through all fours. Take a moment, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. So keeping that left hand grounded, the right arm will float up. We can follow with our gaze. And then we'll bring that right arm under the left, coming onto that shoulder and ear. The left arm can just stay right as is. Just feel that beautiful stretch. We're opening, so we're trying to have that 90 degrees. So the elbow is over the wrist if possible. And then we start to maybe gaze towards the left side or towards the ceiling. Feeling that stretch into the right shoulder, maybe the back. 1 more deep breath here. Ground that left hand as we gently come back up through all fours. For all fours, let the right arm float up. And back through all fours. Take a moment. Let's come into child's pose. This time, let's bring our knees close. Let the toes touch. Bring the seated bones back towards the ankles as we let our torso flow over the thighs. Let the arms come long, chin to chest. Let the forehead come towards the floor or support it with the forehead. The forehead with the hands. And then once we're here, deep, full breath. Let the torso expand. Feel yourself come away from the floor. And then use that exhale to go a little bit deeper, releasing. We'll do that 2 more times. Another deep, full breath. Feel the breath come into the torso, belly, obliques, the sides of the body, into the back of the body. Imagine the entire torso is completely filled with this beautiful breath. And then let the exhale slowly go. Maybe this time we take the visualization of breathing in a beautiful golden or white healing energy coming into our body. We take a moment, we let that energy resonate. And then as we exhale, we see if we can just let go, releasing what we don't need and transmuting it back into that healing light. On the next inhale, we'll gently come back through all fours. And we're going to come through to another round of our thread the needles with our arms with a couple of variations. So we'll start again with the left hand grounded. We're going to start to let the right arm open up. Gaze can follow. The right arm comes under the left. And we come onto that shoulder, the ear. Now with the left hand, if this is enough, it stays right here. Or we can start to walk the left hand towards the top of the mat. Now that you'll start to feel a beautiful stretch. If you even want to go deeper, that left hand starts to walk over towards the right corner. So you start to come and bring the arm over the ear towards the opposite corner of your mat. That beautiful stretch opening into the shoulders and back. Close the eyes. Let's take another deep breath in. And of course, if this becomes too much, come back to your starting position. Just bring that left hand back, grounding the hand back at about that 90 degrees. Let's take one more moment here wherever we're at. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll walk our left hand back to the starting position, grounding the hand as we gently use those core muscles to assist as we come up. Let the right arm float up, opening towards the right, and then back through all fours. So we'll do now the other side. So this time the right hand is grounded. We'll let that left arm float up. Let the gaze follow. This time the left arm comes under the right, coming onto that shoulder and ear. And then once you're here, you are welcome to keep the right hand grounded or start to walk the right fingers towards the top of your mat, or maybe even over towards the left side. So you're feeling a really deep stretch into the shoulders, upper back. Again, nothing into the neck. Should feel quite comfortable. The chin can be slightly tucked. Just finding that beautiful stretch wherever you need to go. Close the eyes. Let's take a deep breath here. And then as we exhale, we'll slowly bring our right hand back to the starting position. Use the right hand and the core muscles to assist as we come back up through all fours. The left arm will float up towards the ceiling and back through all fours. Let's take one more brief moment in child's pose. This time, open the knees nice and wide, toes touch. Let the arms go long, seated bones towards the ankles, extend. Deep, full breath, let the torso expand. Exhale, release, sinking into the floor. On the next inhale, we're going to come back through all fours, and we're going to start to come through a down dog. So we're going to curl our toes under, briefly come through a down dog. We're going to bend the right and left knee, walking out. Spread the fingers nice and wide, so we're pushing into the pads of the fingers, shoulders away from the ears. We can bend the left and the right leg a little more, just feeling that stretch into the hamstrings, the back of the legs, maybe coming onto your tippy toes and then trying to get those heels towards the floor. It's not super important. The gaze can be to the thighs, maybe the belly button or the shins. Let's take another deep, full breath here, and then we're going to come briefly through plank. So we're going to bring ourselves forward so the shoulders are over the wrists, toes are tucked under. Now if you need to, lower the knees to the mat as we gently come right to our bellies. We're going to come to our belly. Our hands should be under the shoulders. We're going to come through cobra today. We're going to untuck the toes pointing away from us, balancing on our hips. We're going to tuck our tailbone. We're going to start to peel our chest up off the mat without using the hands, balancing on the hip points. Deep breath in. Let the exhale take you out, release. Let either ear or forehead come to the mat. We're going to do one more. On the next breath, come back through center. Deep breath in, peel the chest up off the mat, shoulders away from the ears, tuck the tailbone, balance on those hip points, and let that go. Once again, we're going to curl those toes under, come back through. Let's go to our child's pose for a moment, stretching out. Following our breath, we'll come through all fours, tuck the toes under, and we're going to come onto into a deep lunge. So we'll keep our left foot as is. So the left knee is going to stay on the mat. We're going to ground our hands. We're going to step our right foot forward between our hands. So we're coming into this kind of deep lunge position. Hands are on either side of the front foot. The left knee is on the floor. The toes are tucked. Deep breath in. Now we're going to start to bring our torso up, opening through the chest. Deep inhale. Maybe rotate those arms overhead, lengthening. And then as we exhale, we're going to drop our right hand to the inside of our right leg. We're going to ground it onto the floor. We're going to start to open up that left arm towards the sky. Feeling that beautiful stretch and opening. Now if you want to take it a little deeper, we're going to tuck our left toes under. Start to bring the left leg off the mat. Deep breath in here, strong core, belly button to spine. And then as we exhale, let the knee come back to the mat. Let either hand come on either side of the front foot. And then we're going to gently let that right leg come back. And we're going to step the left foot forward. Step that left foot forward between your hands. Again, get yourself balanced. When you're ready, start to bring the torso up. Deep breath in, rotate those arms overhead, tucking the tailbone, elongate. And then as we exhale, this time the left hand comes to the inside of the left foot. And then we start to open up that right arm towards the ceiling as if it's a book. And that left arm can be pushing against the inside of the left leg. Beautiful stretch. If you want, curl those right toes under and start to bring the knee off the mat. Excellent. Deep breath in, elongate. And then as we exhale, let the hands come back down to the mat. Either side of that front foot. We'll briefly come back through all fours. And take a moment in child's pose. Excellent. Let's do just a couple more stretches here into the legs, into the groin, hips. On our next breath, we're going to come back through all fours, briefly through our down dog, and we're going to step the left hand to the outside of the the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and we're going to bring that right knee to the mat. The toes can be tucked or flat. Now what we want to do is try to get that pinky side of the left foot to at least to the edge of our mat. We're going to start to open up that leg, let the knee drop out towards the left side. And then once you've created a little bit of space, we'll just let that leg open up. Hands are spread nice and wide. Wrists are under the shoulders. We're a beautiful, strong core, belly button to spine. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we'll gently bring that foot back through to center. Hands on either side. We'll curl those back toes. Briefly come through from there to all fours if you need to down dog. And then we'll do that on the other side. So once again, this time we're going to step the right foot forward onto the outside of the right hand. So it's coming to the right part of the mat. Hands are under the chest. We're going to let that left knee come to the mat. Toes can be tucked or flat or tucked. Opening through the torso, elongate, strong core, belly button to spine, and then let that right knee just kind of fall open towards the right side. As long as the toes and the knees are in the same direction, you're safe. There should be no discomfort or issues with that area. Just let that open. Take another deep, full breath here into the legs, into the hips. And then on the next breath, making sure that if the toes are flat, we're curling the toes under on the left foot. We're going to step back that right foot coming into down dog. Once again, walk it out. And we're going to come into pigeon pose from here. So I'm going to give you an option. If this is too much, I will give you another option that you're working the same way. So from our downward dog, we're going to once again, this time we're going to bring that left knee towards the left hand. And then the left foot towards the right foot. So that's where we're going with this. And then we'll show it on both sides just to see if you can see this here. So that left knee comes towards the left hand. It may not make it all the way there, and it might be quite close to the groin. That's okay. And then the left toes start to head towards the right. We start to balance our hips, opening through the torso, strong core, belly button to spine, and our right toes can be flat or tucked, gazing forward. Now, if this is way too much, what you're going to do is come onto your back, and we're going to come into thread the needle with your legs. So we'll keep our right foot flat, knee pointing towards the ceiling, left leg across the thigh of the right leg. There's your first level. If you want to go a little deeper, you start to bring that right leg towards you, maybe hug the leg in towards the core, so you feel that beautiful stretch into the glutes, hips, all those leg areas, back. So those are your options. If traditional pigeon is a little much, come into your thread the needle. You're working the exact same muscles. Let's take another deep breath here. We're going to be here for just a few more moments. Another deep, full breath. Let the torso expand. And then let that exhale slowly go. Maybe imagine you've got a little more space. If you're in pigeon, maybe you can start to come onto your forearms. Maybe there's space to come flat to the mat. Support the forehead if you need to. Just kind of find whatever feels appropriate to get really deep. Mindful there should be no discomfort in the knee. As long as the knees and the toes are in the same direction, you are safe. That same kind of angle position. Let's take another deep breath here. Feel that breath come in again. Maybe imagine that healing, spacious breath come in. Take a moment to let it resonate. And then as we exhale, we're just letting go, creating a little more space. One more breath here. Deep, full inhale. Let that breath resonate. And as you exhale, let anything go. Transmuting back into healing. And we're going to slowly, on the next inhale, start to push yourselves away from the floor. Curl those right toes under. Come through down dog. Shake it out. And then if you're in your thread the needle, just release your legs. So you're going to come, let those legs release. Shake it out again. So your options, if you're doing thread the needle, left foot flat, right leg comes across, and we'll come into our thread the needle on that side. If we're doing our pigeon, we're going to come through to the right side. So from our down dog, let's bring the right knee towards the right hand and the right foot as close to the left side of our mat as possible. It might be right under your groin. That's okay. It's not a big deal where your right foot lands, as long as the toes are in kind of that same angle and the toes are heading towards the left side. Balance the hips open through the torso. Try to find my way so you can make sure you can see me. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, you can start to come forward if there's space. Maybe onto the forearms, maybe onto the belly. Let's once again come into those deep, full breaths. Another deep inhale, let the torso expand. Exhale, seeing if there's just a little more space created as you sink a little deeper. Another breath in. Breathing that healing, connected, bright energy. Take a moment to let it resonate before you let it go, taking everything you don't need with it. Last time, deep, full inhale. And slow, gentle exhale. Wherever you're at, we're going to slowly come out. So for our pigeon, we're just going to slowly push away from the floor, curl our back toes, come through down dog once again, stretch it out. And then we're going to come through to all fours and into a kneeling position. And if we were on thread the needle, we're going to release the legs, roll over to the right, and come up through to a seated position, kneeling, seated kneeling. We'll come into kneeling. So from here, we're going to stretch out our toes today to finish up here. So coming forward once again onto hands and knees. We're going to get our toes. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to start to bring our weight back. So we're going to feel a beautiful stretch into the toes as we bring our weight back towards the heels. Now again, if this is too much, you're welcome to stay forward. Keep the hands on the mat. Just go as far back as you can feel a beautiful deep stretch into the toes. If you're able to get the torso off the mat, let's lengthen through the spine. Deep breath in. Let's rotate those arms overhead. Now palms are facing each other. We're going to have the palm palms facing away from each other, and let's have the left arm come in front of the right, and this would be preparation for a wheel. So we're going to lengthen through the arms. Imagine those fingers are being pulled towards the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears, strong core, belly button to spine. Let's take a deep, full breath here. Let that exhale go. One more deep inhale. And as we exhale, gently release those hands. Let them come back down towards your sides. And we're going to slowly transition out, bringing our weight forward. Flatten those toes, shake them out. Maybe do a little bit of ankle rotations. And we're going to sit back onto our heels. And this is our reverse stretch. So we're going to stretch now into the front of the ankles. So sitting right here, if you're feeling a stretch, perfect. Stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, we're going to start to sit back. We want to have our thighs come towards our torso. So we're feeling a deeper stretch if we can get those knees off the mat. Not important. If you can, you're going to feel it quite deep, but you're probably feeling a lot there too if there's some tightness. So anywhere in between or even more, we want to avoid falling away from our legs. So core towards thighs. Deep breath in. Let's take another moment. And release. Perfect. Let's make our way onto our back, lying on the floor. And we're going to add a twist here. So let those knees come into the chest. Maybe draw some circles onto the ceiling, maybe one or two in one direction, and then switch. And we'll come into a very simple, juicy twist. So we'll just let those arms come out either to cowboy surrender, 90 degrees, or out to a T. And we're going to let the knees drop to our left as we gaze to the right. We're going to, if there's space, that left hand can come to the top of the right thigh. As we gaze over the right arm, maybe close those eyes. Try to get that right shoulder flat to the mat. Let's take a deep breath in. And release. Staying with our breath, another deep, full inhale. Notice how the torso expands through the front, into the belly, into the right oblique, back of the body. Notice where that breath goes and then let it go. Once more, another deep, full breath. Maybe visualize that healing breath coming in. Let it resonate as you send out the intention of it clearing what's not needed and transmuting it back to healing energy. On the next breath, we're going to use our core, belly button to spine, pulling up on the pelvis as we come back through center. Shake it out, rock it out in the lower back if you need to, and then we're going to come to the other side. So when you're ready, so making sure we're still got that elongated core, we'll let the knees drop to the right as we gaze over to our left. Again, cowboy surrender or out to a T. The right hand can come to the top of the left leg. Again, we're going to feel a beautiful stretch into the chest, into the spine, back, legs, hips, all those areas. And then once more, let's bring our awareness to our breath. As we inhale, feel and notice where the breath goes. How does it expand through the torso? How does it expand through the oblique? Let it completely fill your torso and then let the breath slowly dissipate. Maybe bring that visualization of that healing breath into the body once again. Notice that beautiful deep breath. Take a moment, let that energy resonate. And then exhale as you let it go. Seeing all that you don't need transmuted back into healing light. Once more, one more focused deep breath here. Take a moment holding at the top. And then as you exhale, let that beautiful energy release what is not needed and transmute it back into healing. On the next breath, we'll slowly release the right arm. Use those core muscles to assist as we come back through center. And again, you can hug the knees into the chest, rock it out, whatever feels good. And we're going to transition into our Savasana. So let those legs come straight. If it feels better, of course, you're welcome to have them bent. Maybe the knees touch and the feet open as wide as the mat. For Savasana, we just let those feet open up. We're going to rock our right and left shoulder under so the chest is open and the back of the arms are supported by the floor or our mat, palms facing towards the sky. And once more today, we're going to take a deep, full breath. Again, allowing ourselves to notice how it feels to take this deep, focused inhale in our Savasana at the end of our practice this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever we're doing this. Let the chest, the belly, the obliques, the back of the body, again, as I've said many times, if you can't feel it in one of those areas, imagine the breath is going there. Take that entire deep healing breath in. Take a moment at the top. Let that energy just resonate, clearing out anything that we're holding physically, mentally, spiritually that we don't need. And then as we release this therapeutic cleansing breath, we notice how everything, again, as it's releasing, maybe it's a dark cloud or a gray color as it slowly dissipates, but as it starts to dissipate, it re-changes back into that beautiful healing light all around us. Again, remembering that every time we come to this practice to heal ourselves, we help to heal the consciousness. We help to heal each other. So by taking this beautiful next healing breath in, once again, let the torso completely expand. Notice the breath go in the front, sides, back. Let it resonate, and again, dissipate which is not needed, and let it go back to healing source for others. As we release that breath, we'll just notice how we feel here. Just notice where our state of mind is, how our body is. And we're going to bring our focus again back to the words we say to ourselves. So we did this a couple of practices ago, where we started to shine some light on some self-talk. And we're going to come back to the same self-talk. Because when we want to manifest and create, it doesn't matter what context we have. Whatever we put our intention into is what we'll create. So what I mean by that is, if you don't want a situation to happen, but you keep thinking, I don't want this to happen. Well, all the creation, energy, all that manifests sees is the intention into that event, not the I don't want, not the context. Just that event that you've put that energy consistently back to. So when we notice what we say to ourselves when we say, I don't want. So as we take our next breath in, just notice when we bring in the words, I don't want, what follows? What immediately comes up that you often say to yourself? Or maybe you didn't even know you were holding within. Just notice. If nothing comes up, that's okay. Just feel at ease. If something comes up, notice what it was. I don't want blank. Now, let's shine a light on it. Now that we've noticed, and maybe we haven't, but we're just sending that awareness to pick up when we notice the I don't want. But whatever we might have noticed, I don't want stress. I don't want limitation. Now we need to transmute that into what we actually want, so we're not focusing on what we don't want. So let's contemplate on what do you actually want. So that's a situation you don't want. What is the situation you would actually want? I prefer freedom versus I don't want limitation. I prefer limitless options. So we're going to change what we didn't want, I don't want, into what we want. I prefer this. I prefer limitless opportunities. I prefer peace, harmony, and ease. So whatever is it that you really want, that's not the what you don't want. What is the situation that you want to happen that against? It would be the reverse, right? The reverse of what you don't want. What is it that you actually want to create? Allow yourself to see those words maybe come across your mind's eye. I prefer limitless possibilities. I prefer ease and grace throughout my life. I prefer whatever it is. See those words come across. Maybe internally repeat them. We'll do that 3 times. With the breath, the words come in, maybe we hear, feel. How is that situation when it happens? What does it feel like? Put all of those thoughts into those words, those intentions. And when you get to the third time, just let those words resonate for the last moment, hold the breath. And then as we exhale and release, let that all go, letting it dissipate. And we'll start to float away back to stillness. Maybe we're contemplating on what we prefer. Maybe we just let all those things slowly go away as we come into our stillness and ease for these last few moments. Slowly, we'll start to come back to our body. We can wiggle our fingers and toes, take another deep, full breath, and stretch any way that feels appropriate. When you're ready, we'll make our way over to our right, coming into recovery. Here we take a final moment to check in, just notice this moment. Let's notice it. And as we get to the bottom of the next exhale, we'll start to prepare. On the inhale, we'll gently bring ourselves back up, sitting tall. Inhale, let those arms float overhead. Let the hands touch, bringing the thumbs towards heart center. As we do one final elongation through the spine, strong core, belly button to spine, lengthening. Let's take a deep, full breath in. And then as we exhale, we finish with our namaste. The light within me acknowledges and sees the light within you. Namaste. I hope again that this has helped, healed, and served you in a positive form. Please give me a like, press that little thumbs up there in the bottom. Subscribe, pass this on to anybody that might find this of use. And we will meet again at the mat in a day or two. Have a great, beautiful day and stay centered. Namaste.